am SYAHIRAH binti Muhammad ASARI. I will explain about introduction of macroeconomics and background of the issue, which is cost of living crisis. I will start first with macroeconomics. So, what is macroeconomics? The field of macroeconomics was introduced as a branch of economic science that focuses on the economy at the national level. It covers national income, the circular flow of income, the national income balance, international trade, the role of government in the economy, and economic policies. Macroeconomics focuses on four main components. First, household sector. This sector consists of individuals or groups living together who act as consumer and owns the factor of production. Second, firm sector. This sector uses factors of production from household and provides employment opportunities. Third, government sector. This sector acts as a consumer and producer while formulating economic policies such as fiscal and monetary policies. And lastly, foreign sector. This sector involves international trade activities such as imports and export. Macroeconomics has several main goals. One of the main macroeconomic goals is achieving full employment. This means the government aims to reduce unemployment by creating more job opportunities for the people. When more people are employed, the standard of living and economic productivity can improve. Another important goal is maintaining price stability. The government tries to control inflation and deflation because unstable prices can affect the economy and people's purchasing power. Inflation can be controlled through market price control, encouraging savings, and implementing tight monetary policies such as stricter lending conditions. Macroeconomics also focuses on achieving sustainable economic growth. Economic growth refers to the increase in the production of goods and services, which contributes to higher national income and better social welfare for society. Now, let's move to background of the issue. Our issue is cost of living crisis. The cost of living crisis refers to a situation where the prices of basic needs such as food, housing, transportation, education, and healthcare continue to increase. This happens when the rise in the cost of goods and services is not balanced with people's income. As a result, many individuals and families, especially low and middle income groups, face difficulties in maintaining a stable standard of living. The cost of living issue is now a major challenge faced by many families in Malaysia. The increase in the prices of daily necessities and house rents has placed pressure on people from various backgrounds. Although the country's economy shows positive growth, many people still struggle with the rising cost of living. Therefore, society must play a proactive role in managing household finances wisely to face this challenge. In 2024, the global economy showed positive growth, but the poverty rate among the B40 group in Malaysia is still a concern. Economic uncertainty and slow national economic growth continue to affect low-income households. Inflation and increase the prices of goods and services, making it harder for the B40 group to afford basic necessities. Although the minimum wage was raised to 1,700 ringgit Malaysia, many Malaysians believe that it is still insufficient to reduce their daily financial burden. Changes in modern lifestyle have also contributed to the rising cost of living. Today, items such as the internet, smartphones, and efficient transportation are considered basic needs instead of wants. At the same time, the cost of education, healthcare, and daily necessities continue to increase. As a result, many people need to spend more to maintain a comfortable standard of living. The cost of living issue has also changed the way Malaysians think and manage their spending, making consumers more careful and wiser in their financial decision.
Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is LIANA SYAZWANA binti SYAFARIZAL. My metric number is 311682. So today we will talk about one of the biggest macroeconomic issues today, the cost of living crisis. Since 2020, many people around the world have struggled with rising prices, lower purchasing power, and financial stress. Let's take a closer look. So, what is the cost of living crisis? It happens when prices of basic needs like food, fuel, and housing rise faster than people's incomes. As a result, families can buy less with the same amount of money. Even when a country's economy is growing, many people still struggling financially. This shows that economic growth does not always improve people's life. There are four main causes of this crisis. First, Russia-Ukraine war increased global energy and fuel prices. Second, COVID-19 disrupted supply chains and caused shortages. Third, climate change affected agriculture and pushed food prices higher. And fourth, some companies raised price more than necessary to increase profits, which economists call sellers' inflation. In Malaysia, the impact was also serious. In 2022, the inflation rate reached 3.3%, one of the highest in recent years. Food and transport costs increased and low-income families were affected the most. To help consumers, the government allocated 1.217 billion under budget 2022 to control prices and strengthen consumer protection. But who suffered the most from inflation? The answer is low-income households. Most of their income is spent on basic needs, leaving little savings. Many also depend on loan or credit. Meanwhile, wealthier people often own assets like property and stocks that increase in value during inflation. This shows that inflation affects people differently and increases inequality. To control inflation, government and central bank use several policies. First, they raise interest rates to reduce spending, but this also made loans more expensive. Second, they use price control on essential goods, which can help temporarily but may cause shortages. Third, they gave cash assistance to low-income groups, although this can sometimes increase inflation further. So, many policies have both benefits and weaknesses. Okay, so from the Islamic economics perspective, this crisis shows problem in economic justice. Islam teaches adil, which means justice and fair distribution of wealth. It also emphasizes maslahah, which means protecting public welfare. Tools like zakat, wakaf, and charity help support poor and vulnerable groups. Islam also prohibits monopoly, hoarding, and exploitation because these practices harm society. To conclude, the cost of living crisis is not just about rising prices. It is a deeper problem linked to inequality and weaknesses in the economic system. Inflation affects the poor the most, and conventional policies have limitations. Islamic economics remind us that the economy should focus on justice, fairness, and human well-being. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is NURAIN AISYAFINA binti RIDZUAN. My metric number is 312317. Now, I would like to talk about my part, which is analysis of the issue, the macroeconomic crisis and Islamic economic solutions. If you look at the official news, Malaysia's inflation rate looks low and stable. It's hovering just under 2% by mid-2026. But when we go up, everything feels way more expensive. Why is there a gap between the official data and our reality? The secret is in the details. While general prices seem calm, transport costs spiked by a massive 4.1%. This means our cost of living crisis isn't because of people are out there shopping too much. It's supply shock. Fuel and shipping costs went up, which instantly makes moving everyday items more expensive. At the same time, our wages are stuck. Even with the minimum wage moving to 1,700 ringgit, and urban worker actually needs 2,300 ringgit to 2,500 ringgit just for basics, and that's before paying rent. The math simply doesn't add up for the average family. Okay, and next subtopic under analysis of the issue is 3.1 conventional paradigm faults, and 3.2 Islamic economic solution framework. To fix this, the central bank usually keep interest rates high, holding the OPR at 3.00% to stop people from borrowing and spending. But here is the problem. Higher interest rates cannot fix global fuel shortages. Instead, it backfires. A business has to pay more for its bank loans. Its costs go up. To survive, they pass that bill to us by raising retail prices even more. Normal families get double squeezed. Your bank loans get pricier and your groceries cost more. To make it worse, large companies use global crisis as an excuse to raise prices much higher than their actual cost, just to lock in record profits. This is called seller's inflation, and conventional tools are completely blind to it. Next subtopics is 3.3 structural comparison metric. This is where Islamic economics offers a real solution by switching the focus from debt to fairness. First, it abolishes riba or interest. Instead of letting banks create money out of thin air via debt, which causes long-term inflation, all financing must be backed by real physical assets. Money becomes a partner in true production, not a tool for building debt bubbles. Second, it changes how we tax. Instead of relying on consumption taxes like SST, which punish the poor, it places a mandatory levy on stagnant idle wealth, which is zakat. This forces the wealthy to reinvest their cash into the economy and directly give purchasing power back to the poor. Finally, it stops the cheaters by banning itika or monopolistic hoarding. If a corporate cartel hides essential goods like food or fuel to artificially force prices up during a crisis, they are penalized. The government acts as a trustee and army, stepping in to break up monopolies and ensure fair, transparent pricing based on real costs. By fixing the structural rules of the game, the Islamic framework targets the root causes of the crisis to protect everyday people.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is NORARFAH RUDHIAH binti ROSLAN. My metric number 311748. Today I will talk about the application of Islamic solution and the cost of living crisis. I've divided it into three. First, social safety and wealth redistribution. Second, monetary stability and inflation control. And the third is resources management and public ownership. The first point is social safety and wealth redistribution. The objectives are to protect the most vulnerable segment of society from severe prices shock and inflation. Zakat acts as a compulsory social insurance during the economic crisis. The prices of basic goods like fuel and food are skyrocket. Zakat takes percentage of stagnant wealth from those who have a surplus and give it to those in need. This money goes directly back into the local economy and preventing a total collapse in the standard of living. Next, we have wakaf, or a permanent social endowment. It is a powerful tool for structurally lowering the fixed cost of living. Instead of allowing real estate, land, and buildings, these assets are frozen for public benefit. This ensures that the fundamental human rights to health and shelter are protected, no matter how bad the crises are. Last, we look at sedekah, which represent the informal economy of kindness. While zakat is mandatory and structured, sedekah is entirely voluntary. Sedekah step in instantly, whether it's a community food bank or a never giving or paying someone's bill or food. It fosters community harmony and drastically reduces the mental health burdens like financial hardship. For monetary stability and inflation control, are focused on tangible value and ethical market behavior. For asset-backed financing, in Islamic rule, every transaction must be backed by a tangible asset like house, car, or commodity. In economic impact, the money supply grows at the same pace as the supply of real goods and services. This will create a stable economic anchor and preventing inflation from spiraling out of control. Next is prohibition of riba or interest. Interest is often a primary driver of cost of living crisis because it creates a compounding debt trap. By removing interest, the entire bank system undergoes a fundamental shift toward profit and loss sharing. This will lower the debt burden on society, leaving families and business with far more disposable income to withstand rising costs. Preventing of ihtikar or anti-hoarding. Hoarding essential goods like rice, oil, fuel during the crisis to artificially force prices up for higher profit. These are strictly prohibition of hoarding and artificial price manipulation of basic necessities. This will enforce the fairness in market competition and prevent artificial stock shortage by keeping daily essential fair and accessible to everyone. For the last point is resources management and public ownership. These are more focused on the principle of the vital resources belong to the community. They are public goods, not a commodity for private profit. Now let's look at the public ownership of essential utilities. This is grounded in a famous principle of Islamic law declaring that all human beings are equal partners in three things, which is water, pasture, and fire. The second is amanah or trustworthy, where the government acts as a trustee. Their ultimate job description isn't just to watch the market, but to actively protect the purchasing power of their people. This proves that in Islamic framework, when free markets fail to ensure fairness, the state or the government must intervene to create a price floor for dignity. It means that even when the global economy is struggling, the local policy must prioritize the survival of the poor over the profit of the wealthy. Finally, the elimination of unjust taxation. In Islamic economic principles, they are inherently against heavy or hidden taxes that rely heavily on the lower income bracket. Instead of applying flat consumption taxes like GST or VAT onto the basic need, which will harm the poor the most, by removing the tax burden from essential goods, the actual shelf price of everyday items like meat, oil, and egg will stay lower. This will keep the inflation out of the grocery and ensuring that basic nutrition remains affordable for everyone.
Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. My name is SYAREHA binti ABDUL. My metric number is 312562. So today I would like to present about my part about the 5.0, the synthesis and evaluation of the proposed solutions. And then we go to 5.1 about the discussion about the synthesis. This part will be focusing on the issue of the rising cost of living and discussing a solution from both the economic perspective and the Islamic economic perspective. So the issue of the rising cost of the living has become one of the major challenges in a modern society today. It creates financial difficulties, especially for a low-income households such as the B40 group and even the middle-income household like the M40 group too. So the cost of the living refer to the amount of money needed because to cover a basic daily expenses such as for housing rents, transportations, food, utility bills, for the education, healthcare, or the loan commitments. So today many households are very struggling because the cost of living continues to increase while the income growth do not increase at the same pace. So they have a three important role in the Islamic economy to address the rising cost of living. Firstly, is the role of the state is very important for providing ethical and targeted welfare policies. Because the government should give the assistance and subsidy to those who genuinely must need helps, while ensuring the transparent and responsible management of public funds. This help reducing wars and support social justice. And then the second is the role of an ethical market is also emphasized in Islam. Islam encourages business and trade, but reject the ethical practice such as price manipulations, monopolies, fraud, riba, and injustice. So business owner must practice honesty, fairness, integrity, and being a responsibility, so the economic activity can bring a benefit for the society and do not burden a consumer. For the thirdly, if the role from the society through with the social solidarity, through the social solidarity is essential because the Islam encourage mutual help through the zakat, waqaf, sedekah, and infaq. This institution will be help to reduce poverty and support the community welfare and to assist those in needs. And then we go to 5.2 evaluation of the proposed solutions. So for this part, we talk about the proposed solution from the perspective of Islamic economics. So from this proposed solution, from this perspective Islamic, they will provide a comprehensive approach to addressing the rising cost of living by emphasizing social justice, fair wealth distributions, economic stability, and responsible governance. So this solution are not only aimed at to reducing the financial burdens in the society, but also ensuring for the long-term economic sustainability and social welfare. For the firstly, wealth distribution message such as zakat, waqaf, and sedekah, they are very effective for helping for the low-income group when during economic difficult. So zakat helps people like transfer wealth from the rich to the poor and enabling them to meet their basic needs and maintaining the purchasing power. So for the waqaf, waqaf also support the public service such as education, for healthcare, housings, and for the sedekah, Sedekah also bring a strengthness in a social solidarity and community welfare.